Okay, so by now your retreat is live, and hopefully you're finding lots of success in filling your retreat. I like to keep in touch with my venue as time goes on and let them know when I've hit my minimum number of signups, and I'll send them over the names and room reservations. You can ask for more rooms if you need them and if they have them, but you can never go wrong with maintaining consistent communication with your retreat venue. So you know when it's time for the dang thing to actually happen, everyone has had time to check, double check, and triple check all the details. I highly suggest that you look into arriving for your retreat at least 1 or 2 days earlier so that you can prepare your retreat attendees for what to expect while traveling, and you can also acclimate to the new environment. When you get clear about what activities or excursions you want to include on your retreat, either check in with the front desk at the retreat center or the folks hosting your activity and find out what's the earliest you can reserve for your group. If it's a popular location and if it's a popular time of year, reservations can get booked out. So you want to make sure you give yourself enough time to save your spot. Once you've got that information, then you can start to put together your itinerary. For the most part, your days may look mostly like your sample schedule. On an 8 day, 7 night retreat, around the third or fourth day of the retreat, I like to schedule my big activity, my big group excursion. That might be a sailboat ride, tour of ruins, a hike. If you wanted to schedule a smaller one, like a sound bath, a sweat lodge, shopping trip to town, you could do that on the fifth or sixth day. The day after my big excursion, I like to give people the day off completely, myself included. People can sleep in, do extra excursions on their own, and really enjoy their downtime. Something else you'll want to include in your schedule is time for an opening and closing circle. An opening circle is a great place to let people know what to expect for the week, lay down your expectations as the leader, let people know what they need to know about the venue. You can do group introductions and even some icebreaker activities. And I'll get more into these in the next module. After a while of doing opening circles on the first night, I got feedback that people were really tired and they'd prefer to do it the next morning. So that's when I've been doing it. I offer a shorter morning class on that first full day, so there's time for opening circle afterwards, maybe like 30 or 40 minutes. Your closing circle, which I recommend doing the last afternoon or evening class, is a great time to decompress and have people share about their experiences from the week. So perhaps your final afternoon or evening class is a little shorter so you can fit that in as well. All right, let's move on to communicating about flights. If you have most of the people coming from the same location and you've been checking flights, I like to use the Hopper app. You can let people know when is a good time to buy, and maybe even give them good flights and times to buy so the majority of people can be on the same flight. As you're collecting flight information, make sure that people know that if they change their flights to let you know ASAP, so the shuttles can be on the lookout for the right flight. I once had someone change their flights to arrive much earlier for the retreat, and they didn't tell me, and it was a bit of a mess. So just make sure that people know. About 2 months before the retreat, I send out a packing list. I like to look online for location specific packing lists. Also, like to ask ChatGPT, but there are a couple things that I always bring that aren't always on these lists, and I think they're necessary. So, things like making copies of your passport and your global entry card if you have one. P.S. Do yourself a favor and get global entry to get through customs in a matter of minutes. Make sure that people's passports are valid 6 months after their retreat. And this is something you'll want to have in the welcome email you send out. And you've already seen that in that first module. Travel insurance information if they purchased it, day bags. So if you decide to go out to town or something or for a walk, having a day bag is really nice. Um, Water pouches, the small little water bladders that you can just fit in there with you. Microfiber towels are really nice if you're going somewhere hot. Sarongs, beach covers in case you're not able to change. Having a headlamp or flashlight with you is helpful. Also, one of the biggest game changers is having a battery pack, a portable battery pack that you can charge your gadgets with. You can just find them on Amazon, portable battery pack. After traveling for a day, your battery will probably be dead. So it's nice to have that. And also having a small first aid kit is helpful. Check in with your students about how much cash they should bring. Can they use their current currency where they're going? I go to Costa Rica a lot and they do take US dollars, but they also want small bills. So make sure to get out a bunch of small bills from the bank before I leave. Ask the retreat center because this is something that your students will want to know. Also, are cards accepted, credit cards? What's the best place for them to get cash if they need it? Is it the airport or in town? Let them know if they need to bring cash to tip at the airport, to tip the shuttle driver, the staff at the retreat venue. Do they need cash if they do their own excursions? They might need cash to tip for those as well. A month before the final payment deadlines, I like to reach out to everyone in an email and just say hi and let them know how excited I am for them to come. Some people like to do group Zoom calls so everyone can get to know each other and ask questions. And some people like to create private Facebook groups for everyone to communicate in as well. A quick note about sending emails. I always BCC everyone's email addresses because if everyone can reply to everyone, they will, and then you'll have a bunch of conversations stemming off of each other, and it can get a little overwhelming. Before I send out final invoices to folks, I send out an email letting them know to be on the lookout for it, and I set a deadline date so they know when they need to take care of it by. Before you send out the final payment to the retreat center, do take the time to go over the final invoice to make sure everything is correct because venues can make mistakes. Make sure that your deposit is applied to the final price. Make sure that the information you got in the beginning, when you double checked your prices, make sure that all matches what's on the invoice. Also, at about the 1 month mark, I get everyone in a WhatsApp group. You'll be glad you got everyone in a group so that you can keep everyone in the loop and wrangle people together when you need to. Set a date for people to download the app and send you their numbers. When I get flight information, I get people who are on the same flights in group chats so that they can meet at the airport and travel together. A couple weeks before departure, I'll send out flight information or sooner if the venue asks, so they can get the shuttle service set up, and I'll confirm everything is set with that. Again, make sure that people know that if they change their flights to let you know so that you can keep the shuttle service in the know. Check in with the venue, shuttles, and excursion company a day or two before the retreat starts. It can never hurt to confirm again. As you approach travel day and hopefully getting to your venue a day or two early, stay alert about things like wait times at the airport, what it was like to arrive and go through customs. I give people instructions for what to do with their phones when they arrive and how to turn them on for service. When I arrive at the retreat venue, I take time to get to know the layout of the land, get to know the front desk staff, the manager, the folks in the restaurant, and I'll go over with whoever's in charge our schedule and confirm the activities, class times, and meal times. As people start to arrive, they'll most likely be texting in the group chat about their arrival, and you'll be ready to meet and greet. I like to meet people in the restaurant so people can grab a snack, drink, and mingle as they wait for the rest of the group and dinner.